Welcome to our immigration podcast. We do all things immigration every week to keep you up to date on what's happening in U.S. immigration. This week we're talking about some major stories in the news. Number one, we have a human tragedy at the border. We're going to talk about that very briefly to go over what happened. We've got some DACA news for you. We'll give you an update on DACA program and what's happening. We have a story about a new law in the United Kingdom, in the UK, for specific types of immigrants. It's something I think we need to look at because we need some changes here. We got some updates for you on processing times because we have some cases that have been coming through really quick, and we've got some tips on you on immigration. So let's hit it up. Recently, there was a human tragedy. In fact, 46 people were found dead inside a trailer truck in Texas. This is turning out to be probably one of the biggest tragedies in terms of human smuggling and with such a high death toll. Authorities found 46 people in a trailer truck dead under just horrid conditions. There's no AC, there's no water, the bodies were hot, and they were an abandoned trailer in the midst of a heat wave in Texas. Turns out there were 16 people removed from the vehicle who were still alive. There were some minors in there. And authorities, of course, are investigating. This human tragedy is really, really sad in the sense that alien smuggling, where they put people into these trailer trucks, is generally people inside the United States where they're trying to move them once they cross the border to a faraway location. And they use these giant rigs and stack people inside them because trailer tractor rigs tend to be for produce or for other things. They're not sort of suspicious the way a van full of people or a car full of people might be. In the end, this tragedy is really making a lot of news, as it should, because it's just a human tragedy and we don't know what we're going to do here. Immigration's going to investigate, but what we need to see here is perhaps some outcome where we can look at what these smuggling rings are doing and how we can crack down on them inside the United States, because this kind of outcome is really, really horrific. We'll bring you more news as that comes out. The DACA program has some updates coming out we wanted to let you know about. First of all, back last year in 2021, a Texas court ruled against DACA and said it's unlawful. Now that appeal, the government appealed that decision. That appeal is coming up and the hearing is on July 6th. There'll be oral arguments, I believe, in New Orleans on July 6th to fight whether the DACA program exists or not. We should hear those oral arguments next week and get some news on that to see what's happening. On top of that, the Biden administration already announced that they're coming out with a new DACA regulation in August of this year. Now, if that regulation comes out and it's helpful to DACA or perhaps undercuts the arguments that were made in the Texas decision, would be very, very important. The Biden administration has an opportunity right now to look at what the court said in Texas to say what part is lawful or not, and maybe fashion new regulations or create new rules to go around that. Hopefully the Biden administration comes out with rules that keep this program alive. At this point, these two new developments are coming up, one very shortly, the other one in August, and we need to keep you posted on that. So keep watch for what happens with DACA. There should be some major news coming out in the next few months. For right now, the administration will still accept renewals, and if you have DACA, you're still eligible to continue to get DACA. However, new applications are closed, and those are not being allowed or being permitted to be approved. So some parts of the program closed, other parts are open. Again, we'll keep you updated on more soon. In other news, we have an announcement from the United Kingdom. They're developing a visa program for high-profile individuals. Essentially, it means individuals who have graduated with a doctoral degree or individuals who've graduated from top universities around the world will be eligible for a streamlined program and a visa good for 3 years. Under this visa program, they can bring their families and they'd be eligible for residence during this 3-year program. This is the kind of creative law or policy making that the United States is sorely lacking. A simple program that talks about how individuals who are eligible can come and have a clean path to getting a visa, and then secondly, getting permanent residence in the United States. It's about rethinking our own immigration policies. We do have programs out there that have been announced. We've discussed them here on this channel many times. But what I would like to see, or what I think is necessary, is something very simple and very streamlined. The United Kingdom, with its high-profile individual, or a high potential individual, the HPI program, is something that really breaks through all the regulation and clutter and sets up a program that makes a lot of sense. The United States should take a look at something like that, and you should check it out as well, because it is an opportunity for individuals who have a degree, and some special opportunity for individuals with a doctoral degree. We've got a couple news stories for you about some developments here at our office. We had a client that hired us recently on an I-140 request for evidence, an RFE. Essentially, the individual hired us because they had an approved PERM case and they had filed in the I-140. USCIS said that they had failed to properly file the labor certification with the right degree or background. They came to us and we were able to win the case in about 4 months, where we showed that while the PERM case called for a general degree, a degree in something like medical science, the individual had a specialized degree in like nursing. We used an expert opinion to correlate the two, explain how the degree that we're presenting from the individual actually matched and met with the requirements under the labor certification, and we got an approval. It goes to show you that the PERM case is really, really important. You got to work closely with your attorney, and you've got to get it set up the right way, or there is an opportunity to make some big mistakes and possibly lose a case after years of work and money. As a final success story, I want to tell you a little bit about an adjustment of status green card case we had. We had a client that came to us and they got married, they entered with a visa. Now, under the Trump administration, marriage-based cases were something like a year. Now, we're in Southern California with Los Angeles and Santa Ana and San Diego, and each office is different. Typically in Los Angeles, in the Obama years, we would see approvals in anywhere from 4 to 6 months. That means we'd file a case at the Chicago lockbox, we'd have an interview as fast as 4 months, and we'd have an approval thereafter. In this case, our clients came to us after a visa entry, and we filed it in March of this year. They went to the interview. The officer actually told them, hey, look, your attorney's not here yet, and I'm getting you early, but I'm going to have you come in and do the interview because I like the paperwork and you look like you're going to be approved. Our client sat down, and they said, are you sure we don't need our attorney? He goes, no, the paperwork's fine. You guys filed a perfect case. Looks great. I think everything looks okay. I don't really have any questions. Now, the clients were a little bit worried, and they said, well, what do you mean, and what's going on? And they insisted, are you sure you don't have any questions? The officer said, okay, great, let me see your house key. Did a house key comparison to prove they have the same key for the same house, and then said, yeah, the paperwork was really well done, and I'm going to approve your case. That case was approved in 3.5 months. Now, we love it, our clients love it, and it shows you something really, really important. It shows the administration that we have now has sped things up, and we're moving back to hit those really, really fast processed, quick and clean timelines for cases that are well prepared, have all the factors in them, and are essentially eligible for the green card. Now, I don't promise we're always going to win a case in 3.5 months, but I am pointing out to you that the speeding up in the timeline is very, very important, and you should know that out there. While USCIS publishes their timelines and you're going to see things like a year, this is an example of if you've got a good case, it's well prepared, there's a good chance you might be able to get that case done in a much faster time period. And that gives hope for you guys out there. And of course, for us, it makes us happy because we're doing our job, doing a good job, and our clients are winning. That's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed our podcast. Please like or subscribe. Send to your friends so they can see what's going on. And of course, drop us a question or a comment down below. We always respond. And in fact, we always have segments about your questions. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care. Bye.